Hi, self-awareness, whose truth? I am your host, Rose. And today I have a very special guest, and I met her a couple months ago, right?
Something of that.
And her name is Ronnie, and she's going to introduce herself and all the wonderful things she does.
No, I do a lot of
You do a
wonderful
lot.
things. I do just about anything. I'm very handy to have around. So, but at the moment, I'm doing makeup, artistry, and I'm doing production. So I'm a producer.
Right.
So how are you today?
I am fine. And ever since I met you, you stayed on my mind because we had such a good conversation. The vibe
That's because we're
was
so much alike.
really great. I mean, I felt you ever since I met you. You stayed with me because we connected. You understood where I was coming from. I understood where you was coming from because, you know, we both are on this spiritual path.
Right.
And we are conscious of it.
Absolutely conscious.
And we just want you to give the audience some information about your path. How did you get to the point that you are spiritually?
Oh,
because everybody kind of had a wake-up call.
I don't know if it was a wake-up call.
Oh, okay.
I think mine was always there.
Oh, great.
I was very headstrong as a child, and it's like, you know, you go through these transitions in your spirituality, and the thing of it was when I was very young, I was very giving and very loving, and I couldn't understand why other people weren't receptive.
Right.
You know, it was like this thing, but I always felt inside of me that there was this power, that it was just like all this energy inside of me, and I could do anything. I was invincible. I was absolutely invincible. And it's when somebody told me I couldn't do something because I was a girl or because it wasn't adequate, or I was inadequate, excuse me. I was like, I'll show you. I have this power inside of me. And there were other things, you know, it's like I had vivid dreams, and, you know, I went to church, and I was like, I love Jesus. I thought that he was the greatest thing since pie because of all the things that he did, but it was his spirituality that enabled him to do that. I never saw him as a god,
Right.
or that he was linked in any way to the super being, other than the fact that he probably had the energy transpired within his body that everyone else has. You know, and I think that that's a common link that we all have, is that energy that serves as who we are. And but as far as believing in the super being and things like that, it's not there for me.
So you didn't go to church?
Oh, I went to church every Sunday. I was scared to death not to. I'd get beat. I was an abused child. I knew better than not to go to church.
Wow.
But it was one of these things of you want so much to believe in something that everybody was believing in,
Right.
and if you didn't fit in. So if you did, then you were cool too,
Right.
You know. So, but
Conformity.
exactly. So I found myself constantly in conflict with ideas and things that I wanted to do, being female. Oh, this is not a good thing, you know. When you want to go and you want to run hard and you want to play and you want to play baseball, you know, and they're telling you can't.
Because you're a girl.
You're a girl, but spiritually, you are who you are, and you're just as strong as the next person. It's the willingness to actually apply those things, you know. So, but where I'm at, and I've had dreams and things like that. Maybe I'm getting off subject here, but
No.
it's like very powerful dreams, and I knew about my mother's cancer before she had cancer. I knew about her death before she died, or at the moment of death.
Right.
I was with her, but I was in bed asleep, and people don't. They're like, I'm scared of you, you know, that kind of thing. But it's not witchcraft. And you know, a lot of people want to say, oh, you're a witch. And I'm like, do I look like a witch? What does a witch look like? You know, I'm not doing spells and I don't have magic potions. But things happen when you open your mind. Things happen when you open your heart.
Thank you.
And your ability increases spiritually because you have an awakening in the process of getting there. So it's like, I think one of the most unique things in the spirituality things is being able to see beyond. And people, oh, there's no such thing. You have the power. Everybody has it.
Yes, but in their Bibles, they spoke of people back in the days that had visions and saw things, and they didn't call them witches and devils.
Oh, but they did. But they did do exorcisms.
Yeah,
on people
back
that
then,
were different.
But the people who read the Bible today, they don't refer to those people visions as they was, you know, black magic.
The prophets, or
they call them prophets.
Well, but then again, if it wasn't along their line of thinking, and it was off into another field of thinking, then they stoned you to death. You know, you were murdered because you didn't believe in their God.
Right.
You know, you had a different insight. And everybody has different insight, and you need to learn from that. You need to, you know, take what's good, and what you know is what you know, but be open to somebody else's teaching. And and it could be your deliverance. It really could, you know, into another level of your own spirituality. But it's like, you know, things that were being said back then as being godly. God did this, you know, necessarily. And some of the things that come up. What's one of the Elijah goes up in a fiery chariot. Okay, so tell me what all that's about.